This is the process shot. I'm Michael. I haven't seen a plant in weeks, but I have seen Room with a Sea View, a short animated film by Leonid Shmelkov made back in 2020. It's a surreal story about a man visiting a foreign country for business and finding himself drawn to the owner of a plant store. As his dreams begin to grow more bizarre and his attitude towards work lessens, he himself begins to undergo physical changes. It's a simple enough story on paper, but in execution it's a bit more obscured by the surreality of the imagery. The film is completely without dialogue, save for some semi-random noises from the characters meant to pass for communication. There is also no clear indication of the story itself, with everything you need supposedly available in the film's visuals. But that's also just as obscure, thanks to the film's apparent focus on being unusual rather than being comprehensible. Simply put, the narrative of the film is something you have to glean yourself, which just makes you put more focus on figuring out what that is, instead of being able to just enjoy the actual content of the film. But that's also complicated by the pacing of the short, which runs through its scenes at a speed that both prevents the story itself from being able to breathe, as well as the viewer from being able to process what's happening. Everything moves so fast that it's nearly impossible to figure anything out, and when it does actually slow down, so much has happened that you still can't really figure out what's going on. As for the animation and art style, it's actually rather unique and appealing. It's minimalistic, keeping a simple style for its characters and environments, as well as a small color palette that's able to keep those elements separate from each other. On a practical level it works, but there isn't too much else to say about them, especially on an artistic level. And really, that could be said about anything in this movie. If it does try to come through as an artistic or stylistic choice, it ends up being outright hindered by the film's fast pacing and lack of breathing room. This is not so much a film that asks you to come to your own interpretations and conclusions based on what it gives you, but rather demands you to fill in the blanks on your own. Room with a Sea View. Leonid Shmelkov, 2020. 1 star. I don't recommend seeing it. And that's the review. Leave a like or a comment if you have something to say, and subscribe if you want to see more reviews like this. Seriously, all they needed was just a little something to set up what was going on. I think after that it wouldn't have been so strange.